So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the thrust bearing. Same gap. As I'm getting ready to work on the next video, I wanted to ask you to please subscribe, like, and of course comment. It really helps me a lot. Now, just a background behind this video. I obtained this Ryobi bandsaw and it was returned to its place of purchase, and the complaint was that it doesn't cut a straight line, it wanders everywhere, it doesn't do a good job, it's a piece of crap. Well, we discover why it's a piece of crap. Anyway, enjoy the video and like, subscribe, and let me know if it's helpful for you. Thank you. This is a Ryobi. It's the RBS904. It is a 230 millimeter bandsaw. In this case, 230 mil. That's 9 inches for our American friends. Now, in saying that, I'm going to show you why it doesn't track straight. This guy reckoned he was a woodworking teacher, and he complained that it was a piece of junk. Now, I will tell you, this is a great saw. I already own one. I'm going to use it for parts because this one's actually in better condition. So anyway, I'm going to show you how to adjust this thing properly. So to start with, I'm going to remove I'm going to have to open up both the upper and lower panels, and then I'll show you all the details. Before we go any further, I want to point out it is not plugged in. If you notice, all the clearance at this bearing, see that bearing? Look how much clearance there is between the blade and the bearing. The next thing is to look at these other bearings. This is what they are in reality. Clearance between these bearings. Okay? This has got a similar problem. So if you look here, the amount of play between the bearing and the blade, then if you look at all the space between them here. This saw was never set up, period. Woodworking teacher or not, this was never set up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the thrust bearing, just set up so it's loose. I have a spacer here. I'm going to put, just to give me a gap, and the gap doesn't have to be much. In fact, in this case, it's the thickness of a label from my sandpaper. So, pushing it there, tighten it back up. Should have some gap between them. That uses it, which I don't understand why Ryobi's done this, but I have to change to a 3 mil instead of a 4 mil. I'm going to loosen these up. So the distance is fine from the front to the back. You don't want it touching the teeth of the blade. Now to start with, same gap. With that gap set, tighten it up. So now I'm going to torque these down a little, make sure they're nice and tight. It's tight. It should be nice and tight. I'm going to do exactly the same process to the lower. Okay, so adjustments are done. Tighten it all down. Ready to give it a shot. Seal it back up. Give it a shot. See how it feels. Okay, so before I seal it all up, I'm going to give it a bit of a wipe down. And I'm also going to use PTFE. Now that is a anti-friction lubricant, and I'm going to use that on the bearings. Also on the, not on the wheel, but on the parts of the adjustment, so that you never have an issue. Great stuff, highly recommended. PTFE is the chemical name for Teflon, so Teflon's just the brand name. Okay, so first I'm going to adjust my height. Drop it down to about just a few millimeters above the workpiece. And then I'm going to tighten that down. Alrighty. Some light on the subject. I will definitely be replacing this light with something a little bit brighter. That's an incandescent, and it's a very warm light. So let's give it a shot, see what happens. Alrighty. First line I'm going to do is I'm going to do a straight line. Go for this angle. I've got a fine 14 tooth per inch blade on here. Aside from my inability to cut straight, there's very little actual wander. Help to see the line. Not perfect, but not bad. No wander. Make a couple more cuts. Now this is a hardwood. So, what it comes down to is that there was absolutely nothing wrong with that saw. Nothing whatsoever. What it comes down to probably is an experience and just not knowing that you have to adjust the blade and set it up. All of that's covered in the documentation. Ryobi's pretty good with their documentation. Great saw. It's going to do a lot of work between now and Christmas. If you have any questions about how to set up a saw, let me know and I'm happy to try to help you out. Watch the space, there's a lot more coming, and I look forward to the new projects on the way. Have a great one. Don't forget, remember, subscribe, like, and comment. Look forward to the next time. Take care.